Hello, everybody. I am here. It's pretty late now, like 11:43. Shit, I gotta go to bed very soon. So I just wanted to show a little sample of what exactly I have here, and it's very straightforward at the moment. This is my little space that I've created. It'll be much more elaborate once I get into more detail on the weekend. Right now it's Monday, about to be Tuesday, and it's me, Gerardo Valerio, showing you my dream, my Project Dreams GX, where I would have many protagonists go through different dreams. And these things right here are dream gates. They stem to go to different planes of reality. This means that the gameplay is not going to stick with your usual, all the time, same, blah blah blah. I'm going to combine it with different types of games. Like, first of all, it's a role-playing game. There will be mini games within it as well. This is what I mentioned about it. These mini games will have be relative to the dreams that are going to be within this world. These little creatures right here, they're not actually little, they're just there, are Ankies. They harbor information and hints of exactly where to go and what these different gates hold. Just like different worlds that you see in Mario Galaxy, Yoshi's Island map. It's almost the same concept now here, is that you actually run around these hexagon sort of platforms. And every time you go through these worlds, you will unlock a certain particular artifact that you need to progress through the game. The story is still not defined, and I'm still going through the process of voting and getting people's, you can say, feedback on what exactly I'm going to fill this. Because it's open. Way open. And I can change the configuration of such a thing in one day. So it won't be like this. It'll be something different if I decide to change it up. It's a lot of work. Yes, I understand. But the main mechanics are there. Aesthetically, don't mind. Right now, this is all a placeholder. Colors are placeholding things at that certain set, as well as camera, which I still need to fix. At the moment, I'm still deciding on to leave it orthographic or create it and make it have it as perspective. It all depends on the player or feedback for the designs. I also, since I just needed to import something to move around, to debug, and play, test the game. This is just a placeholder, protagonist, sprite setting. I'm going to redefine it. See, still needs work. That's gonna take me a little bit. I downloaded a program called Texture Packer, which they recommended me to use to be able to actually, when I do stuff in Photoshop, I just put everything that I do in Photoshop into Texture Packer and have it exactly what I need, so that you see these edges that pop up. See that? It won't be there, and I will be fine because like everything will be 100% transparent. But that's later. That's aesthetics. That's graphics. The stuff that I can do on the side at school. If it's this level of work, it's easier. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there'll be places where the camera is going to reveal more of the inner stage. That's why I leave it the way it is to clip through it, but it's clipping way too much on the walls, so I might have to, like, you know, take it down a little bit. I could actually do a little fixer upper here. See, just in real time. See how it goes. But still, it's gonna go a little bit bad on that side. It depends on placement of the assets as well as the camera placement. I will be able to do other things with this as well. Teleportation. See? Simple. There you go. But since I've been working with Google Drive and trying to have these things work accordingly, it has been messing around with my file. You can say all the work that I've done the past day to do reflections got deleted. Thanks to Google, thanks to my stupidity of trying to use Google Drive as a lazy way of working with it from school and my home, so I can have something at school to do in my off time, which they're not letting me do off time since it's the final term, fourth term. So that's my dilemma. Kind of sucks because I just posted that like crazy. I was like so happy about that progress that I had to redo it again, motherfucker. And I'm feeling really sad because that's not appearing the way I want it up here. Oh God, where are you, QR? QR. See what I mean? If I can show you guys what I mean. See, this down here supposed to be the reflection, which is not appearing over here. And the reason why it's not appearing over here is because it's the old file I had created that in the computer over there at the Mac. Because I'm jumping from Mac to PC, PC to Mac, so it's just like, this is terrible. Come on, assigned to about script. Oh, that's why. Alright, I think there's a quick fix. So here there's an error. Didn't compile the associated reflection. See what I mean? The one in this is a pro feature. I have pro at home and I have free version at school. So when I open it up at school, it turns off everything that has to do with pro. So Let me see if I can fix it. Alright, I fixed it. Supposedly fixed it. So, there we are. That was like 2 seconds. So I had to re-import the film. Oh man. Collision. You can see that I need to fix the collision. Whatnot. Look at that. Look at that beautiful thing. It's reflecting. Yay, it's reflecting. Yes. So it is, see? The old switcheroo. And then there you go. So the deal is that I needed to create an illusion. The intent of a reflection happens to pop up only when the camera is, only when the actual object is reflecting often of a sprite that's invisible to the naked eye, or the camera, per se, this time. So it's actually, behaving as if there was a reflection, but they're actually not. It's a control asset that I added as a child. Paired it up as a child, and it won't appear in regular areas where things will not, the actual field is not needed for that asset to appear, only in reflections. See? So here you can see that there are two, because in the plane, in the planar mirror thing that I had going with the other platform, the other area, the other room, it's pretty much that I selected it. Here is more like the reflection is coming from the second camera that's actually projecting off from the mesh here at the aspect, which is really, really cool effect. So I don't even care. I'm leaving it in because it's just so weird and it's not supposed to happen, but it's happening. And I like that because it's all a stream-like setting. It's not real. It's having three different aspects of the person. It's telling a hint of the player that, hey, look, there's one, there's two, there's three of you, which is one, and it's very indicative of a lot of a lot of um, observational things. The play on 333, creating 6, 999. Everything plays on 3 here, so it's very esoteric symbolism. Uh, that's why this guy over here has that esteem as well, like that relation, and it's all relevant towards the story of the subconscious mind and the dreams is happening. Even the shapes, hexagons, come on, man, hexagons are another esoteric symbol. A lot of people are not, they only see it in technology a lot, but this means a lot more than what it was. It's been adapted to technology, going deeper on that end. Um, and it's, for me, all about secret geometry. Doing the Metatron's cube aspect. This is why the shape and feel of the entire like thing will be more on that note. So you'll see that all these things will unlock. That's why I probably might just like turn these platforms into hexagons, and then actually like resemble um Merkaba, and in the center of it's gonna be like all nice and shiny. Looks like we'll be like rotating around a sun or some kind of light source that's gonna be super intense with a lot of geometry, or the essence of geo. And it'll be nicely, decorated. It won't be like this, of course. It won't be like this at all. In the end, and once the player is able to unlock all centerpieces, which is the first six piece will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Will be all here. Then you have the center. You have the one above and one below. Um, as above, so below. Going to be applied onto these things as well, and there will be areas where the actual hero would be fully in 3D, and that's the stuff that I've been trying to learn so I can actually apply it to my bigger, more meatier, much more crazier project that I've been working on for the past 4 years, which is called Dark Zeta. And this is only for Volume 1. Volume 1, I'm remaking it from my old project. My old project is particularly 2D, but since Game Maker has been switching around so much, and I don't have no help. I mean, remotely, I only get little help from people who have a life. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to ask for a lot of help online, a lot of help on Twitter, um, and even locally, try to see if anybody knows Game Maker, and nobody knows Game Maker. I just feel I'm so alone in it. Versus Unity, which has a really huge community here in Boston, and I need that. I need to be in a gang of programmers to learn. Um, because I need to socialize to see what's going on with this stuff. I mean, I got this far alone. I would imagine if I would have some help, actual like human touch, like literally like somebody here next to me say, look, let's make this here, like there, and then make this much more efficient, because I know this thing can run less than 10 megabytes, doesn't need all that stuff, and I can actually reuse texture maps. But because I'm such a beginner, I'm not thinking about optimization, which I read an article about. Indy's not thinking about optimization. It's not that we're not thinking about optimization, it's that we don't know how to. Um, so I know how to do that in GameMaker because I've been working with GameMaker for 10 years. Versus Unity, I just started. Like literally, like I've been a beginner since 2011. Yeah, 2010, 2011. Um, and so it's just like, what, what in the butt kind of deal, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, I feel I need to get somebody who's a pro that won't be flaky on me. And this is a less demanding project setting versus Dark Zeta, which is a much more demanding project setting. I'm very James Cameron when it comes down to projects, and this one here is not even like I have done some certain concept artwork for this idea, but not that much. Like this is open, like on the table. Anybody can come in and modify any which way they want or perceive to be the way they like it. So just to add on to these things, because this is like free versus Dark Zeta is not free. I have everything planned out on Dark Zeta so badly that if I would have an assistant programmer, somebody to come in and give me a hand, that everything is already like listed to do exactly what is intended. Like there's no it's if or buts. There's no shade of gray on Dark Zeta. It's the way it's supposed to be. Like the way it's supposed to be already designed. And that structure does not apply when you're in production, or at least for me, I've been in pre-production with Dark Zeta for so long that everything is already set, and I just need somebody to help me literally fulfill my vision, execute it as the way as it was intended to be. Um, and it's so easy for me in my mind to actually apply that. This is why I'm doing this thing very similar to Dark Zeta with the pixels and with the actual um, design of 2D on 3D environments. That's Dark Zeta. Like, this is Dark Zeta pretty much. It's just that one gameplay aspect, one freaking awesome gameplay aspect, one little detail that can be done only in Unity from Dark Zeta 1 to Dark Zeta 3 is taking both camera angles of that's why I made let me like save this. Hopefully I can save it. Save. Oh right. I forgot about that. Okay. File. Save. And then save again. Save project. And then let me open up the scene here. I got too many things going on in this asset folder. So many, because every single thing is just learning, 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 more learning. There we are. So let me get up to the hero and then focus on him and then play. So here we go. So pretty much this is like debug room, the testing room for every single little thing. This is where I develop the teleportation, the movement, and I reuse the assets that I was gonna use in Dark Zeta. I literally, it looks like Minecraft, and everybody's like, why does it look like Minecraft? Well, this field over here is this. It's very simple. I made my assets all in Maya, and I literally just took a cube. Did you see that? This is a cube there, the cube, and put one texture map thingamabob onto these things. This is all 512s. Like, this is all texture map in one map. All of it, all of this, all of this, one map. Many different cubes, many different instances of cubes. Something that anybody who is a master of optimization will be able to help me clear that data down into pieces, into more compressedness, for everybody can wee yeah, alright. See what I mean? I just did that. I literally programmed it so that I can come back, restart the damn stage when I come through. So I'm the master here. So this is what Dark Zeta is supposed to look like. And this is exactly the thing and where Square Enix, Nintendo reuses their assets to be able to create whatever the crap they want and they're intended to create, which is the next Mario thing. Like for instance, if anybody goes on to Google and search how did Super Mario Bros. 4 looks like before it became Super Mario World, you can see the assets were reused from Super Mario 3 to create the world that it is Super Mario World. Slowly but surely, that was it. The same thing goes with Square Enix reusing before, a long time ago, called Squaresoft, reusing assets like Final Fantasy from Final Fantasy 1 to Final Fantasy 2 to Final Fantasy 3 to Final Fantasy 4 to Final Fantasy 5. Oh, yeah, especially Final Fantasy 5 is like reused from Final Fantasy 4. And then they say, you know what, we're gonna reuse Final Fantasy 5 stuff to Final Fantasy 6. But then they say, you know what, we're gonna make everything brand new in Final Fantasy 6 because we need to like make something new. We reuse this shit too long and too often, so we gotta get this shit straight up. So Final Fantasy 6 is like a copy of Final Fantasy 3, mixed with Final Fantasy 4, but it's usually more like Final Fantasy 3 meets Final Fantasy 2, in 16-bit mode. So Final Fantasy 5 was they redo these things, so like that they kind of keep perpetually having to have a job, making assets, visual stuff, but everything's the same. The engine is the only thing that's really improved. The battle mode, turn-based, the active turn-based, all the way to Final Fantasy 7, and then Final Fantasy 8. They tried to make it brand new, but it's a copy from 7's advancement, but without that window stuff. And then Final Fantasy 9, pretty much they were like, let's bring it back. Let's go Final Fantasy 6 on this bitch, but without the Final Fantasy 7-ness to it. So they did that, and but most of all these things they already had built from the beginning, and that's pretty much like what I'm doing with my assets, which is straightforward. Like the only things that are really like unique is the characters, and that's what I usually focus on most of the time is the characters. So the characters are my thing when it comes down to game. That's not supposed to happen. Collision. Oh, it has to do with fucking collision. Yeah, so like I'm here. Yeah, I need to like kill the collision because the collision is like poking at me. That's way too pokey. I need to like reduce that pokiness to. Anyways, you wanna see a trick? See a trick? I can actually fall from here because I didn't put anything there. Boop. So I have to go through it again. Yes, son. 30 minutes into it. This means it's 12:13 and I gotta go to bed. But yes, I just wanted to like put this on YouTube and show everybody that this is, um, you know, this is what I'm doing. That's the biggest update for my blog as well, because it's like, what? The blog has been empty for the past month. No updates of the stuff that I'm supposed to be updating, which is game dev stuff. It's not drama shit that I have already on my blog, which I have to change my approach to blogging. I usually use it as a diary, which I need to stop. It's more like, diary like of like, too much of a pussy when it comes down to these things. Get my freaking emotion out. But I'm an artist first before anything, right? So I need to like confess what's going on in my brain. Sometimes I'm way too deep on the subject, and I need to just talk more about games and how to make games and be on my world. Yay! You know, I gotta be on my world because, by the way, this character here who's walking, that's me. A lot of people was like, why does it look like you? Because it's supposed to, man. I want to make people. That's relative to these things. It's easier, right? Yeah, exactly, right. I would draw myself with a red hat, but I don't wear a red hat as much anymore. But I will put the red hat G here, which is like the young version of me. And I have the id, the ego, and the super ego, my storyline as well. Why not? All the artists do these things. And it's just a bin full of dream stories that I gotten because I get these crazy vivid dreams and I need to talk about it more and I want to set these things up like that because it's just like it's these dreams are wonderful and if I put this in a database like this, like like just wake up one morning and just say let me just put it into the game without thinking about the game mechanics because it's already done. This is gonna be turn-based battles, which is gonna be awesome. Trust me. All the assets are gonna be handmade by me, most of it. The 3D turn-based battles are gonna be superb in one world. Um, Nightmare, the world of Nightmare. Oh, that's another thing too. I forgot to sort of show is was it? Alright, let's see here. Assets and ideas and there you go. So I'll put this here. This is the other aspect I want to talk about. This is the I was just talking about it actually. 7 worlds total to begin with. You saw there's an actual eighth world in there, but that eighth world is more like a secret zone. So that secret zone is like a bonus stage. So it's think of like Super Mario 3 where you get the flute, right? And then that flute will like whiz you to level 9, world 9, and then you just pick a warp zone or whatever. Same thing, you know. So that will be like that. So in a simple meta, the work schematics is I have Nightmare, Facebook, Animescape, Family Subcon, GNMs, Id and Ego, and Super Ego, which is V is in it too, and then Twitter World. And how I'm gonna translate it is that Twitter World is pretty much all the people that I know from Twitter manifested into a dream. Cool concept, huh? Family Subcon is Famicom. I don't know if you noticed that. So Famicom, get it? Family Subcon, Famicom, com, computer, family computer. Does it give you a big ass hint? What's it gonna be in there? Yeah, exactly. Nintendo stuff. That's just gonna be a lot of like old school 1980s, early 90s stuff in here. Of video games, pixelated stuff, but brought out in my point of view. And then Enemyscape, obvious. That's another dream world where it's gonna be more focused on role, like actual like visual novel kind of style with this. More work on the art aspect that can be done because I do a lot of work at home. I mean at school. Then I got the Facebook aspect, which is more focused on family and local friends. And then Nightmare. Nightmare is like a combination between many things. Um, Mostly focused on lament, a lot of sorrow, a lot of sad stuff, a lot of heartbroken stuff in here. A lot of this is where I'm gonna put the room of broken hearts in Nightmare. and then there's gonna be an area in the nightmare where it's just gonna be just grotesque. And then there's gonna be another section of the nightmare which is gonna be very like eerie. And then there'll be another one that's just gonna be straight up like zombie apocalypse kind of style. It's very detailed on the nightmare aspect. Think of Halloween, but just like Halloween, um, scary personal. You know, this is where a lot of the subconscious stores all that negativity is gonna be in there. And it gets from lightheart bad to like World War II bad. Um, there's gonna be some shit in there that people will be like, "What the fuck, dude? Why did I have to go through that shit?" This the area where a lot of people are gonna like it, either really like it or really don't. And it's gonna be something. Of course, I'm gonna put a lot of esoteric shit in it too. And then interspace, which is the final level, the final zone where the self reveals that it is you, truly. Something that I don't want to spoil, but it is something that is already relative to every single experience, from the fears, which is a nightmare, you know, to this set of prideness, set of feeling of like this facade in Facebook, and then escape to that drama, that conflict between um you and in the world, the difficulties that happens to be, that's gonna be more on that theme in the anime escape, and then Family Subcon will be more focused on the escape route, the escapism, just you trying to leave the real world into and escape into something with fantasy. A lot of it has to do with that there, and then Twitter world is more like popularity contest. Um, me, I need help, I need see this, market. That's kind of like the Twitter world, it's like a connection, disconnection. Same thing as Facebook, but this one is more like outwards. Sort of Facebook is inwards in the condition. G&M's, id ego and super ego, which I should put there later. Um, GM and Vive, that's what I should have put. These things are pretty much a base. This is level 1, a base where exactly is what's going on with the whole entire game. So it's kind of like giving you a foreshadowing of what exactly is gonna happen within the whole entire game. And I'm gonna put a lot of mirrors, a lot of reflection stuff, inspired by your was it Final Fantasy 4, which is like the only the one that's my favorite role playing game. Since it's my first role playing game I've ever had any. I hated that game in the beginning, by the way. Really hated that game because I didn't understand shit when I was growing up about that. But then later on, I understood that there were more in the story, more into that world than meets the eye, than your Western stuff that you usually get. And it was not sugarcoated, man. For a kid to experience that, all the stories in Final Fantasy 4, even though they really try to translate it for kids and shit, that shit was hardcore, man. That had a lot of deep messages that today when I play it, I just like blows my fucking mind. And it's so simple. It's just so simple. Yeah, it's just like wow in your face like that. Um, so yep, that's pretty much was the deal. And then I want somebody to actually design Twitter World to be the way that Twitter World is in their heads, because I just want to have other people to design these spaces. I just got a theme for them, but I want others to come in and, help me out. I don't want to do this alone. Like, I usually do things alone. Like, I'm tired of being alone on these freaking things, but I have to do it. I have to do it. Nobody's gonna do it but me. When it comes down to these things, to developing, that's my unfortunate curse. I try to be in a group, and nobody wants. Like, that's the aspect of humanity. There's a deep, severe disconnection with me, and this project is like an open invitation of like, I'm here to give you this. Help me, please. Like, join me, and it's nothing bad. It's just an expression, an artist's expression. And that's what I want. Like, let go of the ego. This is why I talk about the id, ego, and superego. Let go of it and be free. Free from fear, free from vanity, free from pride, ambition, just free from gluttony. It's just free from all the bad shit. And be free with just creative energy to make it, to have that artist literally have that reflection, like that cue that tells everybody else, like, look, you can become stronger through this. So it's just that frequency is what's my goal, and this is my keyword, is freaking, is to grow, is to feel empowered. Same thing as Dark Zeta, just that try to make this much more open. So, well, let's just see what happens, right? Alrighty, guys. I showed enough. I think I showed too much, but fuck it, whatever, right? Let's do this, man. Let's do this. Alright.